All right, everybody, it is first thing on a Tuesday morning, and the patch notes for 1.2.10.0 have landed for Dune Awakening. This is a big one, bringing a whole bunch of quality of life changes to the game, including my personal favorite, which is the ability to pick a build piece and change it to something else. So you no longer have to remove a piece and then put something new in its place. You can just pick it, change it, and it'll immediately change it over to another thing. And the rest of the Dune Man building sets dropped with this patch. Plus, there is a vehicle replacement feature. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. We're going to go through the patch notes right now. This also means I'm going to be going and rebuilding my original base and switching it over to the Dune Man set. Maybe rebuilding it from scratch. I'm not sure. Let's dive in. So this one includes a whole bunch of changes and improvements, including a vehicle recovery system, a new replace option within the construction UI, enhanced rendering distance for vehicles in the deep desert, instanced PvP loot, and much more. Also, 17 new Dune Man building pieces for Lost Harvest DLC owners, which can be found in the Own section of the construction menu. Also, a bunch of fixes, and you'll be able to read the full patch notes. There's a link down below. I'm not going to go through every single last little detail in here. We're only going to go through the sections that I think are my favorite, and then you guys can go dig through the rest if you want to at your discretion. Highlights here. Construction tool now features a replace mode that lets you replace building pieces with other compatible pieces, allowing you to quickly upgrade your bases to new sets. This is a big deal for me. I have an existing base. It's the base that I built when the game first came out, which is across from Anvil Station. I have previously sort of played around with the Observer set, but when the Dune Man set was launched, I was like, I want to do the Dune Man set. But I don't know if I'm going to completely scratch it and start over, or if I'm just going to make it Dune Man. I don't know yet. We're going to play around with the new building pieces in the weeks to come, so stay tuned for that. Updated loot and PvP areas, which is now going to be instanced, similar to PvE areas. More on this under resources, building, and crafting. Okay. Implement a new loot structure for the deep desert. Schematics no longer rotate on a weekly basis. That's interesting. You can now recover lost vehicles using a new mode in the vehicle backup tool. That's a big one. I never had any issues losing vehicles, but I know there have been people, even in our own guild. There's been a couple of people who have lost things. I know I've seen plenty of posts from people who have lost it. I never suffered that issue, but it's cool that we now have the option to recover it on our own without needing to go through like customer support. That's a pretty big and useful quality of life change. That's pretty cool. You can now choose your vehicle as a respawn point in the vehicle management menu. You can now see up to 2 kilometers with vehicles. Wind traps will no longer consume filters if the base's water storage is full. That's a big one. Those filters cost a lot to make. Um, so that means essentially they will stop. I wonder if it means it'll stop consuming the existing filter if the water hits cap, or if it just consumes that filter and then it won't consume another one. Um, More on that as we dive in. 17 new Dune Man building pieces and increase the bank inventory slot and volume significantly. I think we were discussing this in Discord the other day because one of the things that we were all talking about was the long term. Like, what if I can't play for 6 months? The idea of being able to take a Solido replication of one of my bases, tear it all down, stash that stuff in bank storage, and then when I come back to the game, I can then pull out everything from storage, use my Solido replicator, rebuild my base, and immediately jump back into the game without needing to worry about losing a base. Because the inventory slot and volume stuff was pretty tight on the bank. We'll be paying our taxes today, so when I'm in Arakeen, I will check on what the sizes look like. Um, Resources, building, and crafting. This is more information on all this stuff. Notification when you enter the sub fief that you have access to. You're going to get a notification on the right hand side, shows the status of the shield's power and taxes. The PvP stuff doesn't bother me. I don't do PvP. That's interesting. 17 new Doom and building pieces. So we get a whole set here. Column, center column, ramp stairs, triangle floor, triangle foundation, wall two, a bunch of new stuff. That's awesome. Categorize the Dune building pieces into their own section. Oh, that's sweet, because previously it was underneath like the Chome set or something, so that'll be nice. Oh, it tells us what they did. Oh, wow, that's a big increase. 25 to 500 and 1500 to 30,000. I'm gonna have to Yeah, I'm gonna stockpile resources for a like banked base. I'm gonna build this Dune Man base and then we're gonna bank it. Um, we're gonna bank the Solito replicator and all the parts that we would need to make it. Dune Man garage door has been improved to allow the tread wheel to fit through it when it's open. Very nice. Rocket launchers can now lock on characters again, but it requires a target lock before firing. This is a bunch of missile stuff. Oh, spit dart rifles now have their own weapon subcategory. Nice. Okay. Adjusted player stamina regeneration. Interesting. Added the vehicle to recover lost vehicles using a new mode in the vehicle backup tool. When vehicles that you personally own are removed from the world by a sandworm, Coriolis storm, or complete destruction via combat, they can now be recovered for a fee from a new recovery mode in the vehicle backup tool. In addition to a Solari fee, recovered vehicles will lose 15% of their maximum repairable durability each time they are recovered. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Recovered vehicles are brought back fully repaired and fueled. That's fair. I think that's more than fair. Like, have there be some sort of a cost to bring things back if they are destroyed by, as they mentioned, sandworms, Coriolis storms, or complete destruction. Note the vehicles destroyed in combat are not recoverable until they've been completely removed from the game world as to allow looting and other gameplay mechanics. Vehicles lost to the sandworm are immediately recoverable. You must be the owner of a vehicle to recover it. Up to 5 vehicles at a time are available for recovery. Vehicles must be recovered within 72 hours, otherwise they will be lost forever. Vehicles lost prior to this patch cannot be recovered with this feature yet. Yet, they mention. Okay. With the introduction of a vehicle recovery, the vehicle backup tool has become a multifunctional tool, enabling both vehicle backup and recovery. As a result, when the tool is unholstered, you cannot use abilities or the primary interaction key consistent with the behavior of other multifunctional tools in the game. The backup tool was never intended for use in high intensity situations. That's completely fair. It is not possible to interact with the vehicle when you have the tool unholstered. Red projection will be visible if there's no valid location for placing the vehicle. Vehicle, well, we already read about the distance updates. Scout Ornithopter and Assault Ornithopter have been renamed to light and medium, respectively. Excuse me. Improved highlighting and messaging of vehicle modules targeted by the welding torch. Oh my god. This has been requested since the game launched. It should now be easier to repair or remove vehicle modules. This is especially funky when you've done what I've done, which is you have an Atreides skin variant, an Atreides variant on top of your all your vehicles because it changes the location of the pieces and the welding torch gets and so I've had to do some funky stuff like jumping up on top of the vehicle and pointing the tool down at a specific angle to be able to target like the PSU and stuff inside. Really cool. Um, New player experience has had some tweaks. Deep Desert and Lands Red stuff. Okay. Now players can now obtain a player start near one of the taxi services in the Deep Desert. There's taxi services in the Deep Desert? This gives all players access to the taxi service to escape the Deep Desert. I didn't know there was taxi service in the Deep Desert. I don't do a lot of deep desert stuff though. Where's the taxi service in the deep desert? And a whole bunch of other stuff, which you guys can go through at your own leisure. The big thing for me was the resource building and crafting stuff. I will be diving in today, actually. We're going to be doing a Dune Awakening stream for the first time in a couple of weeks. Today is yesterday was taxes, but I'm jumping on today to do taxes, maintenance, and we're probably going to start working on that Dune Man set with our old existing OG base and see whether or not I just replace it all or if I strip it down and start from scratch on the existing land claim. I haven't decided yet, um, but we'll know more as we dive in. So I'll see everybody later on for some more Dune Awakening. And of course, I play a lot of different games, so check them all out. Daily streams at 4:30 a.m. on YouTube, Twitch. We added Kick and TikTok recently, so you can check it out there. And of course, lots of other stuff in between here on YouTube. See you guys in the next one.